Hello and welcome to episode 18 of Made with Carleanergy. I'm Carlene and this is my podcast about my knitting projects. I'm on Ravelry and Instagram as Carleanergy, and you can also find the group for the podcast as Made with Carleanergy podcast in the groups tab. And it has been a very long time since I recorded. I think it's been a full month. I think my last episode was the beginning of February and it is now Sunday, March 13th. So I apologize for being away for so long, but I will explain more about why that was in a pretty real talk segment at the end of this episode. But thank you so much for coming by to see what I've been working on, and hello to my returning subscribers, and hello to any new viewers. You're in for a long episode, I think, since it has been so long and I have a lot to show you. So first of all, I do want to say that I finally sent out the giveaway prize that I had a thread, just a gratitude giveaway basically last month, and I had a prompt in my group, and the winner's name was Teresa. Teresa, I finally sent out your bag by Mina Makes, and so that should get to you hopefully sometime in this coming week. And I'm so sorry that it took so long to send out to you, but thank you for your patience, and I hope you really enjoy it. And then I also did a swap with a lovely viewer named Sarah who messaged me on Ravelry and wanted to do a mini skein swap. So Sarah, I finally sent out your package as well, and I hope you enjoy it. And again, thank you for your patience, and I'm really sorry it took me so darn long to go to the post office. But again, I will explain what was going on at the end of this episode. So yeah, let's get into what I've been working on and what I have finished finally. So I have been working on this sweater for my friend for over a year, and I think I had all the pieces knit by the beginning of 2015, and then it sat in a basket waiting to be seamed for several months because I just hate seaming. And I don't hate it as much as I think I do. I hate the idea of it. Once I'm actually doing it, it's fine. But the thought of it just holds me up for some reason. But this is the Hugo sweater by Veronique Avery. It was in the first Brooklyn Tweed men's collection that came out a few years ago. And I knit it in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the Artifact colorway. And it is done, guys. I'm so excited. Well, not maybe more relieved even than excited. It's just I mean, I finished it just in time for spring, which is ridiculous. I kept promising this is for a good college friend who asked me to make him a sweater, and I was a crazy person and said yes I would. He's reimbursing me for the yarn cost and all that. But yeah, I feel really guilty that I kept telling him he would have it for at least a month during the winter this year, and it just didn't happen. But I finally finished seaming the last side seams and all of that yesterday and woven all the ends. And yeah, it came out really nicely, I think. I really like how the collar came out with these toggle buttons. He had requested some toggle type buttons. So I really like how that looks, and then you can unbutton it and fold it over. And yeah, it came out beautifully. And really the seaming was not so bad once I finally sat down and did it. So I'm happy with how the seams came out. I was really nervous about the shoulder seams on this sweater because it does mention in the pattern that the shaping for the sleeve caps is pretty high cut on this pattern. So they were really tall, but then it didn't really. I didn't have a hard time setting them into to the shoulder. It was pretty straightforward, and I just had to ease it in just a little bit at the very top. And yeah, it came out pretty evenly with the shoulder shaping. So I thought it was a really well written pattern. It was really nice. It was really fun to knit. It just took me a while to seam because I just get held up by the seaming or the idea of the seaming. So yeah, I'm really excited with that. tubular cast on for the hem and the sleeve cuffs, and then I think the collar was a sewn bind off, which I've never done before, so that was fun to learn. So yeah, so happy to have this done, and I know my friend will enjoy it. I hope it fits. I hope yeah, I hope it works out, and yeah, I think it came out really nicely, finally. And then I did finish a pair of socks, another pair of vanilla socks with a slip stitch heel, and this is 72 stitches on a US size 1, so a 2.25 millimeter, and these are for another friend. This is Barocco Comfort Sock. I forget the colorway name or the number. It's just a number, I believe. Actually, I think this is my label. So this is colorway number 1814. I really like how this came out. Really nice stripes. And I do really like knitting with this yarn. It's a 50% acrylic, 50% nylon blend. Super soft and yeah, super comfortable. So even though it doesn't have any natural fiber in this blend, I really like it. Now the funny thing about these is this is the first one I made. And then I did get them to match up, and they do match up, except for this this second half of the skein had this funny little section where it has colors in it that are not existent in any other part of the skein. So the heel ended up this kind of rusty brown color that doesn't really exist in the rest of the yarn, and this section is a little different too. So the heels are just a little bit different because it had that weird section of the skein that was totally kind of freaky. So I think that's kind of cool. I was nervous when that started happening because I really, since they match up so well on the leg, I really wanted them to match up completely. So it did end up evening out again, and they do match, but other than the heel. So I thought that was really kind of funny. So those are done, and then I have a hoe, which is this sock. This is going to be another men's sock. Probably put these away for some Christmas gifting. I haven't blocked these yet. I didn't block the other ones yet either. These definitely I will block because of the pattern. So this is a Cascade. I have another skein of it here. It's the oh no, it's not Cascade. It's Valley Yarns Charlemont, and it's 60% superwash merino, 20% mulberry silk, and 20% polyamide. And yeah, so it's called Charlemont, but this is a different color, obviously. And I'm not sure what colorway this is, but it's gray. So this is the Guitar Man sock pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm blanking on the designer's name, but this is I love this pattern. It gives kind of a textured argyle effect, I guess. I don't know what else you would call that, but and it's just purl stitches. It's just different, numbers of purl stitches going across and back. So I would say that this pattern is just as intuitive and kind of easy to see where you are as, say, a Blueberry Waffles sock or Hermione's Everyday. It's a very intuitive pattern to work through, and it flows really nicely, and I really love the pattern. And I have more fun with this, I think, than say a Blueberry Waffle. I don't get as bored with this, I don't think, but yeah, I've used this pattern a few times before, and I really like how they come out. So again, just a slip stitch heel, flap, and turn with a gusset. So that's one sock finished, and I'm working on the other one. And yeah, I think that is it for finished objects for now. So on to works in progress. So yes, I am at the heel turn. I just finished the heel turn. Oh, this is all a mess, but I am at the heel turn on the second Guitar Man sock. I didn't do as many repeats of the pattern. I think it calls for 10 repeats in the pattern, but I only did 7 for a slightly shorter leg. I like to do about a 7-inch leg, which that's the 7 repeats got me about a 7-inch leg. And I'm doing this on my US ones again, my ChiaoGoos, which are basically the only needle brand I have been using lately. I've tried to love other ones, but these are just my thing, is the ChiaoGoos. And, excuse me, a little sip. And I've been keeping my socks in my Mina Makes project bag, which I absolutely love. This bag makes me so happy. It's definitely one of my favorites. So thank you, Mina. Yeah, what do I want to show next? Okay, so I did wind up one of my Jill Draper Empire skeins, or my yarn babies, as you may know them from my past 2 episodes. And I started the Birch Bay pullover by Julie Hoover. This was in Brooklyn Tweed fall 2014, maybe? I could be wrong. I always get the collections mixed up, but that's what it looks like. Sorry for the black and white photo. You can kind of see what it's going to be. And so, yes, it's all wound up, and it makes the most beautiful yarn ball. It has gotten considerably smaller since I started knitting. So, so yeah, I wound it by hand, and it took about, I think, 2 1-hour podcast. I watched a bunch of podcasts while I was winding it, so I think I watched 2 episodes that were about an hour or so long, and then another one that was half an hour, and just kept winding. And it was really difficult to hold on to the ball as it got bigger with my hand and wind around. But I did it, and I really, it's so much fun to knit with from such a huge ball of yarn. And this is where I am at. So this is the back, and yeah, tubular cast on again, like most Brooklyn Tweed sweaters. I did the tubular cast on, which I really like. Sorry, my throat is just not cooperating with me. So, yeah, I swatched on a US size 8, so 5mm, and I was getting gauge according to the pattern. The pattern does call for the Brooklyn Tweed shelter, and I did get gauge on the US 8, but the fabric was a little dense because this is an Aran weight. It's a nice round yarn, nice and plump, and yeah, it's 100% Rambouillet. And so yeah, I felt like the US 8, the fabric was a little stiff. So I went up to a US size 9, so 5.5mm, and yeah, really liked that fabric better. It was slightly off gauge, obviously, and I didn't wash my swatch. I think I'm taking a little bit of gamble. It does seem like it's coming out pretty big, so there are increases going up, but it's supposed to be a very oversized kind of poncho-shaped sweater, and my measurements are coming out between the smallest size and the next size up. So it's somewhere in between there. So I'm not quite getting the small size, but I'm not quite getting the next size up either with this needle size. And yeah, the sweater calls for about 14 to 18 inches of positive ease. So it is supposed to be oversized and very flowy and comfortable. So I'm hoping it works out. I think even if it's kind of large, it's still, the shape of it, I think, allows for a lot of wiggle room with the sizing. So yeah, I'm hoping that works out and that it's not totally enormous, but I really like working with this yarn. The color, my lighting is just not going to do it justice, but you're getting some of the variation in the color. It's this really nice, subtle, kind of peachy color, and then it's got these variations of light green, and yeah, I just really love how it's turning out. It's one of those projects that I keep having to look at and or stop knitting and just stare at because it is just so pretty. Yeah, you're just not going to be able to see how awesome those green tones are, but they are awesome. And so yeah, and I keep putting this down. I haven't been working on it that much. I really didn't work on it too much this week, and you'll see why, because I've gotten really obsessed with another project. But yeah, I'm kind of taking it slowly. Yeah, I've kind of realized that at this point it's March. This isn't going to be finished for, cold weather at this point for this year. So I'm not in a big rush to finish it, although I am really excited about it and I want to see it as a full finished sweater. But yeah, I'm just not. I'm not rushing through it. It's really enjoyable to work on, so I'm kind of savoring it and just taking it easy with this one. So that's that. And yeah, obviously I don't have any project bags that are like big enough to put that in. So I've been keeping it in this big bag that I got for Christmas with my first name initial on it. So that's that. And I think the last thing I will show you, I do have some other socks on the needles, but I'm not going to show them just for time's sake. I will show them when they're finished. But I think I have 2 other socks on the needles that haven't gotten a lot of attention. I've mostly been focusing on the gray Argyle textured ones. So I'll show them when they're finished. But there's always more socks on the needles, right? So I guess my last work in progress that I will show is my Luca shawl. And this is by Jared Flood. It was in the most recent, the Brooklyn Tweed Winter 2016 collection. Again, sorry for the black and white, but you can see kind of what it looks like. And so this is a lace weight pie shawl. And I am co-hosting a knit-along for this shawl with Gabby of the Once Upon a Corgi podcast and Denise of the Yarn Geek podcast. All 3 of us had realized that we were all going to be knitting this, so we're kind of knitting along together. And then if you'd like to join us, please do. I know it may not be the most popular pattern, but yeah, I thought if others would like to join us and kind of commiserate with us on this crazy pattern, then please do join us. And I was really intimidated to start this. I'm using the Brooklyn Tweed Plains yarn, which is their limited run lace weight that they came out with a month or so ago. And it's 100% Rambouillet. And I ordered 3 skeins of the Scarab colorway, so this really nice kind of gold green or green gold. It's, yeah, I don't know how to describe this type of yellow, but it's really, really beautiful. Sorry for my nails, by the way. All of you podcasters have such pretty nails, and I never even paint mine. I just don't. But anyway, so that's the Scarab colorway. I'm obviously getting down to a little itty bitty yarn ball. I have to wind up my other skeins soon. But yeah, here it is. And it really, I was so intimidated to start this, but it's not so bad. It starts with a circular cast on, which was quite tricky, and it is very fiddly for the first couple rounds, but it does increase stitches very quickly, so it gets easier pretty quickly once it starts to get bigger. And then you get into these gorgeous patterns. And I have been so in love with this. I started this on Monday, I guess the 7th, and this is how much I've done this week. So I feel like I've made very good progress. I've been quite monogamous with this. I have, knit a few rows here and there on my sweater, and then I've been working on those socks quite a bit, but yeah, this has been my project this week, and I think it's so pretty. I'm not looking forward to blocking it. I'll have to figure out I guess I have enough space on my living room floor, and I think I want to get some better blocking wires. But anyway, I'm just enjoying the knitting right now. I'm doing it on the suggested needle size, which is a 2.5 US 2.5 3.0 millimeter, and I am doing this on my ChiaoGoo interchangeables. And I started the shawl with magic loop. I didn't start with double points, and I found that it was okay even with the ChiaoGoos. I was worried that the cord was going to be too stiff with the lace weight to start with magic loop, but again it increased pretty quickly, so I didn't find it too bad. And then yeah, I was doing magic loop for quite a while. I could have switched to a 16-inch cord so that I could have started in the round sooner, if this is making any sense, but I just stuck with my 32. This is a 32, I think it's a, what do they make them in? They make the ChiaoGoo cords, this is a 30-inch length on the cord. And yeah, so I could have switched to a smaller cord so that I could have been in the round a little bit sooner, but I just kept doing magic loop until I had increased enough stitches to do the full 30-inch cord. Yeah, if that made sense. But yeah, it's really fun, and it's pretty intuitive as far as the lace sections go. It's not too tricky to see where your next yarn over or your next decrease is going to be. So I haven't found it to be too much of a pain. It's been really fun to see it evolve, and I can't wait to see it when it's finished. It's going to be really pretty. And this is the first, this is really, I think, yeah, the most complex lace pattern I've done, and my first pie shawl, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, I have a thread in my Ravelry group for the Luca shawl knit along, and we're hosting that until April 31st, or I guess April 30th. I think April only has 30 days, so the end of April. And yeah, come and join us if you decide that you want to give this a shot. I do recommend the pattern. I think if you like knitting lace, it's a really, really fun lace pattern. And yeah, it's fun. I guess that's what I'm gonna say about it. It's fun, and I'm keeping that in my Fawn and the Fox project bag, and I have a bunch of fun pins on it. My Book of Stitcher podcast pin and my Into the World, and then these two are from the Wasaic Project, which is the arts organization that I live very close to and worked for a few summers ago. And this little button pin, which I found in this button jar that my mom got me at a estate sale, and there was this pin of a button, so I really like that. So with that, I guess I will talk about my stash enhancement, which is crazy, and more is on the way. That's all I could say. I don't know what I'm thinking lately, but I have just been, grabbing up all the yarn as if it's going to all spontaneously disappear. I just can't help myself. There's just too many things that So first of all, I did get a lovely package from Kristen of the Yarngasm podcast and Wool and Vine Yarns. She contacted me to tell me that she had a skein of Jill Draper Mini Empire. So this is the same yarn base as the big Empire skeins, like this guy, but this is the smaller skein version. So this is 213 yards of 100% Rambouillet Aran weight, and this is the lavender colorway, which I love. So Kristen decided that she wasn't going to use this, so she sent it over to me. And thank you so much, Kristen, for thinking of me with this, because it's really beautiful. I love lavender, or I think that's kind of obvious, but that's one of my favorite colors. I've done a lot of projects with this color. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but really excited to have it in my stash, and I'm sure a really fun project will come up for that. And then, okay, I had to cut there and take a little break because I ended up having a coughing fit. My throat is just not used to all this talking, I guess, after not doing this for so long. So I took a break, made myself some mint tea, and hopefully that'll soothe my throat and I can get through the rest of this. So I just showed you my Jill Draper Mini Empire skein from Kristen, and she also sent me some of her little fiber nest that she's been working up on her hackle. She got a hackle and has been dyeing up fiber and making adorable little fiber bumps. So she sent me this one, and then this one, which I've already started spinning up. Really pretty lavenders and olive green, and plenty of sparkle as well. There's the sparkle. And yeah, so I haven't done too much on it yet, but this is my Erin Make Stuff honeycomb spindle, which I haven't used too much yet. I got it several months ago. It's a very light spindle, so I'm trying to do a nice fine single on it. And yeah, just trying to get back into spinning with some drop spindling. I still haven't touched my wheel in several weeks, which is really a shame, but trying to get back into it with a nice little sample project. So thank you, Kristen, for those. Really fun. And oh, I wanted to show, this is the bag she sent the yarn in, and she wrote, "Hey Carleen, more Jill Draper for your brood." Meaning that I have my 2 Empire skeins as my yarn babies, and she sent me another mini yarn baby. So yes, I have a lot of Jill Draper going on now, so very exciting. And so next I want to show you these 2 skeins that I got from Kirsten of Knitting a Love Song, which is her new Etsy shop. She has started up her indie yarn dyeing business, and I am so impressed with her branding. She has gotten herself a gorgeous logo, and I love the name. And yeah, I just think this is, yeah, I have a card too. So she has a really nice business card with another version of the logo and all her information. So you can find her at knittingalovesong.etsy.com. And she has a Facebook page as well. So she sent me a skein of her Minuet sock base, 436 yards of fingering weight, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And this is the Montauk colorway, and it's a gorgeous tealy blue tonal mix, and I'm really excited to work with this. I love the color, and I am tempted to do a lacy pair of socks with this, since I am trying to break out of my vanilla sock comfort zone and do some pattern socks, and I think this would be really nice for that, since it is just a tonal shade. But it's so nice that I kind of feel like it should be a shawl instead, so not sure. I have to think more about that, but either way I think I'll really enjoy knitting with this colorway. So thank you for that, Kirsten. And then she sent me a skein of her area worsted base, so 218 yards of worsted superwash merino, and this is the Knitting a Love Song colorway, which is really exciting. So this is kind of her signature colorway for her shop, and really pretty lavender skein with nice light tones, and nice and squishy, very, very soft. And I think I'm going to save this as a giveaway. I don't know what for yet. I don't know if it'll be for the Lucas Shawl knit along, since I don't know how many participants we'll get with that, but yeah, I'll save it for a future knit along or just some type of random giveaway. So thank you so much. I'm really excited for you, Kirsten, with your new shop, and I think you are really just already doing such a lovely job with your branding and your colorways, and I can't wait to see what you do with your shop. And she also sent me a lovely thank you card I love getting cards. I love putting them up. So that's a card that I've gotten from another knitter, and then another one over there from Kristen of Yarngasm. I love putting my cards up on my ledge. Makes me happy to see them. So yes, this pile over here is also stash enhancement. I think in my last episode I had said that I had ordered a bag and a skein of yarn from The Fawn and the Fox, which is run by Laura of the Fawn Knits podcast and her husband. And so this was the first update that she had with her hand-dyed yarn, so I had to have some. And so I ordered a skein of her Fawn base, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 380 yards, fingering weight. Look how gorgeous that is. Shades of green and yellowy green and pops of orange. It's just so pretty. This is the terrarium base, or terrarium colorway, if I didn't say that yet. And yeah, I'm so excited about this. And then along with that, I ordered one of her succulents project bags because I thought that they just had to go together. And she ended up doing this as a kit because she had posted a picture of my order on her Instagram, and a lot of people wanted the combination as well. So she did some pre-orders for kits. I think she's planning maybe on doing another round of these kits. So keep up with her if you're interested. But yeah, it's just a really great combination. Perfect little kit. And I'm going to use this for the Fine and Dandy socks. That's a pattern that just came out. I am blanking on the designer's name, but it is a $1 Australian dollar pattern. So that's only, I think, 73 cents US. And the proceeds go to a charity. Again, I should have looked this up, but I don't know what charity, but the proceeds do go to some type of worthy cause. And it's a beautiful toe-up sock pattern, which I've never done toe-up before, so I'm excited to do that. And it's got this really beautiful little kind of gathered flower stitch. The stitch pattern looks like succulents to me. It looks like little succulents like that. So yeah, I'm really excited about that pattern. And Amber of the Yarn Junkie podcast and Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knitful podcast are hosting a knit-along for that pattern starting on March 17th. So I'm all set with my yarn. I have to cake it up, and then I did grab another set of ChiaoGus just so that I would have them for these socks, since my other ChiaoGus are tied up with other socks right now, and you can never have enough. So this is US 1, 32-inch cable. So yeah, all set with my supplies here. Just got to cake up my yarn, and I'm looking forward to getting those started and trying to toe up sock. It's so cute. And so last Sunday I took the train into Brooklyn. Let me get a sip of tea here. So we now have the New York Knit Nerds group. So that's the group of us that many of us live in Brooklyn or in the city, and then I'm up here in Dover Plains, New York, and then Gabby of the Once Upon a Corgi podcast, and Adrian, her brother, of the Freakish Lemon podcast. They live not too far away in Connecticut, and so they came down as well. We made the train ride to Brooklyn to meet up with the other New York Knit Nerds, and we met up at Word Bookstore in Greenpoint, and it was a lot of us, and it was so exciting to get to hang out with everybody. And the bookshop was very close to Gauge and Tension, which is the yarn shop that we love very dearly, and it is actually closing at the end of this month. It is run by Michelle Wong, designer for Brooklyn Tweed, and she's decided to close up, and she had a really fantastic run with the shop. It started as a pop-up shop, I think in October 2014, and she had a rental space on the weekends, and then found a more permanent space in the Brooklyn Craft Company, and it's just been really fantastic to be able to go down there and hang out with her and shop in this lovely little yarn shop. She has such good taste in indie dyers, and um, yeah, it's been really fun, and we really are going to miss that shop, but I am happy for Michelle that she will get her weekends back, and yeah. Um, so yeah, we were at the bookstore, and then we went over to Gauge Intention to do some shopping, and I did do some shopping. Yeah, so my skeins just are like, you should see my basket of yarn. I really have to organize. I need one of those IKEA shelves that everybody's getting, because things are just overflowing out of baskets, and I feel like my yarn stash is just growing exponentially every month. So this is all that I got at Gauge Intention. I picked up these two skeins of O Wash fingering in the Pearly Muscle colorway. Pearly Muscle, which is again another kind of lavender purple. And this is 100% machine washable certified organic wool. So this is a special type of organic superwash method process. I don't know. I have to read more about it, but I know that yeah, Oval, it is superwash, but it's a different process to make it superwash than the typical superwash. So it's a little more eco-friendly, which is really cool. So this is 428 yards. And I got two of them because I'm going to use these for the Waiting for Rain shawl. And again, I did not look up the designer's name, but Kristen of Yarngasm is hosting a knit along for this for the Waiting for Rain shawl. I think it goes to the end of April. I think she's thinking of extending that, but it started on March 1st. So if you want to check out that shawl, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's garter stitch with these short row lace inserts. I've never seen another pattern like it. It's really unique, and I'm really excited to do it. And I think I'm going to do the lace excuse me. I think I'm going to do the lace sections with this Wool & Vine Yarns Fairy Hair colorway. I think this is her Strassa base, and I forget exactly what the fiber blend is on that, but I think it's maybe a 75 merino, 25% nylon. And I've had this in my stash for quite a while, and I've had some other ideas for it, but I just, yeah, nothing has really totally come through with it yet. But I think it would be really pretty as the lace inserts. I don't think it's too variegated for the lace sections. I think it would kind of be like, the way that I'm picturing it is it would look like stained glass windows if I did the lace sections with this, and then the main body of the shawl with the wool. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. And yeah, I don't think that will use, definitely wouldn't use the whole thing, so I'll have to see what I want to do with the leftovers, but leftovers are never a bad thing. So I think that's what I'm thinking. I think that'd be really pretty. And I want to start that soon, but I have to get some other shawls off the needles. My doodler is still in hibernation. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't taken it out of the project bag in like 2 or 3 months now. Crazy. Really need to finish that. And Kristen's been working on her doodler a lot, and that's kind of inspiring me to pick that back up again. And now that I've finished the sweater, I feel like I can go back to other shawls that I need to get off the needles. So yeah, I'd really like to start that soon, obviously, because I want to participate in the knit along. but you know, also have my Luca going on and my sweater. Anyway, I am still on stash enhancement. So I also got 2 skeins of Brooklyn Tweed Quarry in the slate colorway, and yeah, I got 2. I was just gonna get 1. I want to make a hat for a friend and then a hat for myself. Or I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these, but I think they're gonna both end up as hats in some form or another. The Brooklyn Tweed Gansey collection that just came out this past week has a new hat pattern that I purchased, which is the Burnaby hat. So it's a nice textured cabled hat. So that might be one of the skeins, and then yeah, yeah. So I think these both will be hats. One will be for me, and one will, I think, be for my friend. And yeah, so really, really pretty colorway. And then 1 skein of Skeiny Dipping, just because, and I will tell you why. So this is the Tea Leaves colorway, which I already have a skein of, which is right here. So this skein I used as part of my Lumpy Space shawl, and so, and then I've given a bunch of mini skeins of this away. I haven't decided what I want to do with the rest of this yet. I have to weigh it and see how much I have left. But so this is the first Tea Leaf skein I got several months ago at Gauge Intention. And then I thought this was a totally different colorway when I saw it there last weekend. So I guess, yeah, I guess it does look very similar in some sections, but and yeah, everybody was kind of teasing me because I saw this one section of it where it's got this a little bit of green and then it's got a little bit of yellow over there, and that's what made me have to have this skein. Just that little bit of variation. Yep, that's what made me have to have this one, just because. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I love Skeiny Dipping. So yeah, that was my haul from Gauge Intention. And I might as well just admit it because you're going to see it eventually anyway. But I did, so we went to Gauge Intention, shopped around, and then so Michelle wasn't there when we first went in. Her partner with the shop, Melissa, was there, and so we kind of hung out for a little bit, and Michelle hadn't gotten back yet, so we all went over to get some lunch at a place called Jimmy's, and they had good brunch food. I had a really good Eggs Benedict, and then after lunch, so Gabby and Adrian and I were all planning on going back to Grand Central at the same time to get our trains back up north at around 5 o'clock. So after lunch we had a little bit more time to kill, and I really wanted to see Michelle because I don't think I'm going to be able to get back down there before she closes, so I really wanted to definitely see her. And so we went back to Gauge Intention, and I saw these skeins of Skeiny Dipping Luxe Worsted, which is a worsted merino cashmere blend. And yeah, she had, I think, 7 skeins. And when I saw this colorway, it's called Mineral, and I immediately thought of the Seuss sweater by Nora Gahn. I think it's Seuss, or it might be Susu. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce the pattern name, but it's this cabled, oversized kind of, yeah, I don't know what you call that fit. Drop shoulder, pullover, and I've wanted to make it for a while, and when I saw this Skeiny Dipping yarn, I was like, oh, the Seuss, that needs to be the Seuss. And the pattern calls for DK, but the Skeiny Dipping yarn that I was looking at was worsted, but I figured I could make it work since it is kind of an oversized garment. The sizing is very flexible, and yeah, and then I got a little bit of sticker shock because that yarn is quite pricey per skein, but so I left it behind, And then all week, this past week, I mean, this is ridiculous. It's going to sound really silly, but it was keeping me up at night, the fact that I did not get that yarn. Um, yeah, I just couldn't get out of my head. I really wanted that sweater. So I asked Michelle if she would have me pay for it online and send it to me, and she graciously said yes. So I will have more skinny dipping on the way to me in a sweater quantity, and yeah, gluttonous again, wool pig, such a wool pig. This one, me, I am. But I'm really excited because I think that's the first. It's definitely, yeah, the first sweater quantity of yarn that I have purchased at Gauge Intention. So I'm really excited to have a Gauge Intention sweater. Um, the shop, yeah, that shop really did. It means a lot to me, and I've had such lovely times and memories there. So I think it made sense that I have a Gauge Intention sweater. Not that I don't have enough yarn from there already, but it is what it is. So also on its way to me, hopefully tomorrow, is the Wool and Vine Gory Yarn Club. I signed up for Kristen's Yarn Club. It's the the Gorey Details Club, and so it's going to be colorways inspired by Edward Gorey, a children's book illustrator who did these very kind of a little bit morbid, a little bit twisted, but very whimsical drawings for children's books. And so Kristen dyed a bunch of colorway, or I think it's 3-month yarn club, and it was supposed to get to me the first installment yesterday or on Friday this week, and I don't know what it is, but when I order stuff from the city, sometimes it ends up being routed to New Jersey before it makes it back to me. I think it's just the way the shipping routes work and just the way that they send things, but usually when I order things from the city, it gets sent to Kearney, New Jersey before it gets sent up here, which is really frustrating because it's not that far from the city where I live, and to think that a yarn is going, all the way to New Jersey for no reason, just to come back up here. I realize that that's how shipping routes work sometimes. Sometimes things just get sent, I don't know. Or maybe it was a mistake that it got sent there. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a mistake or if it's just the way that the routing works. But anyway, so hopefully it comes tomorrow. It was supposed to get here on Friday, and I don't think there's been any shipping updates yet, which makes me kind of nervous. They haven't updated the estimated delivery. Anyway, shipping frustration. Don't they know that I don't have enough yarn? I mean, I don't have enough yarn yet, guys. Like, they need to get it to me. But I am so excited to see the colorway. I know that Gabby of Once Upon a Corgi, she also is part of the club, and she has gotten hers, and I told her that as much as I begged, she can't send me pictures of it. She said she won't even take a picture of it. I said, don't listen to me if I beg to see it before I get mine. But I'm so excited to see what Kristen has come up with. So anyway, I'm very rambly right now about my wool piggery. Oh yeah, so I think my last enhancement was a swap package from Sarah, a viewer who wanted to do a swap with me, and she sent me the most lovely package. Let me see if I can get all the things here. So we had talked about sending maybe about 8 minis because I wasn't sure how many I could cobble together of my scraps. I'm kind of running, I need to knit more of my fingering weight so that I can do more mini swaps. So yeah, we talked about doing maybe 8 or so. This is a lot more than 8. So grateful. So this is so generous. I'm so grateful for all these. Because I was feeling like I was running out of colors on my blanket. So this is amazing. And there's so many good ones in here. Lots of indie dyers. There's some Gnome Acres in here, which I've heard a lot about on podcasts and haven't tried yet. I love this one. This one's Wild Oak Yarns by Cozy Crafting. So pretty. And then this is another favorite. This is a Spun Right Round colorway, which I haven't used before either, but I always look at her shop. So, so, so pretty. And yeah, there's some Reggie in here, some Lorna's laces, just, yeah, all kinds of different colors. This one's nice and bright. So exciting. Thank you so much, Sarah, for all of those. And then she included so many other goodies. A whole bunch of tea. And some of these, I've seen I've seen these in swaps before. I've never gotten any, but, and I haven't eaten any of them yet, but I know that these are very tasty from what I hear of, from other podcasters, so that's really exciting. She sent me this really cute little calendar, which I really need to open since now it's March, but that'll be really useful for me. And a lovely little notebook, which I love. I'm such a notebook hoarder. How did you know, Sarah? And then she sent me this really funny lip balm. It's called Chicken Poop. It does say that it contains no poop, but it says lip junk. Yeah, ilovechickenpoop.com if you're interested. And this is what's the flavor? I think it's lavender and orange. It's, yeah, lavender and orange. It's really, really nice. I love the flavor of this. It's very soothing. So thank you so much. I'm always losing my lip balms, as I think everybody does. But yeah, so far so good with this one, and I've used it for a few weeks. So, and I think that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and she sent me a really cute little card, which I will now put up on my ledge. So thank you again, Sarah, and I hope you enjoy your package. And again, I feel really terrible that it took me so long to send, but it's on its way to you, and I hope you enjoy. So, with that, I think I've covered everything knitting related. So I will talk a little bit about why I went kind of missing in action for a couple weeks. So I had kind of a rough end of February. Yeah. So I've had some not so fun feelings kind of under the surface for a few months, and I haven't been sleeping that well. For some reason, I'm able to fall asleep at a relatively decent time, say like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm able to fall asleep, but then I wake up at 3 in the morning, and I'm up for a few hours, unable to fall back asleep. So that's been really frustrating, and yeah, I've just been a little emotionally stressed, and yeah, I was kind of trying to ignore it. So basically, I have experienced depression for a very long time. I started having these, kind of depressive thoughts when I was 11 years old, and I mean, I was in 5th grade and didn't really know why I was feeling that way, like what I was feeling basically, like didn't know what it was, and I was a little kid, so yeah, it was just really hard to understand, and I mean, I was a shy kid. I was, I liked school because I liked to learn, so I was kind of yeah, shy, and had friends, but not a lot of friends. I was kind of, yeah, I always felt kind of awkward in social situations, and yeah, so I've experienced depression for a long time, and social anxiety as well, and I did go to counseling in college, and that helped, and I have tried medication for it before, and then gone off of it, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what exactly made it happen at the end of February, but yeah, I was just kind of ignoring some feelings of yeah, just being down, not really feeling that great about myself. Um, and so, yeah, long story short, I ended up having a little visit in the hospital because of this. And I'm really sorry if this is a lot of like really real, not so fun stuff, but I did want to talk about it because um, several podcasters, other podcasters have talked about this recently, and um, yeah, for a little while I wasn't even watching podcasts. I wasn't keeping up with them because it was, I don't know, it just became difficult for me to keep up, and I was feeling pretty down, and just for some reason couldn't keep up with everybody. But then I started to catch up on all of them, and yeah, I saw several where others, other podcasters were talking about these things, how they've had similar experiences, and it was really interestingly timely that they were talking about this at the same time that I was feeling not so good. So thank you to everyone who has opened up about these things. I know that it's not a totally uncommon thing, but it can feel very lonely when you're experiencing it yourself, and it just means a lot to hear that. No, I mean, I don't like that others out there are feeling have feel blah 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 have felt depressed, because I don't want anybody to feel depressed, but it means a lot that you're opening up about it, and it really helped for me to hear that stuff. And yeah, for a little bit I was kind of thinking that I wouldn't even podcast anymore because wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this, and then I heard others went up about it. So anyway, so yeah, I had a rough week, or yeah, rough week or so of yeah, ending up in the hospital because things just got pretty bad. I had, yeah, a bit of an emotional breakdown, and yeah, it sucked. But I'm taking care of things now and trying to approach it differently than I have in the past, where I think in the past, after something like this has happened, I kind of close up and push people away, which is the opposite of what I should do in that situation, because that just leads to more crap and depression. But, I'm trying to embrace my friends. My friends here have been really, really great, getting me through this stuff, and um, my parents have come up to visit me, and um, I have talked to some other podcasters on Instagram and stuff. So thank you all so much. You know who you are, and it really means so much to me that you're there as a support system. And yeah, I'm really trying to use my support system this time instead of pushing it away and digging myself deeper into the depression cave, because that's never really worked out in the past. It just kind of leads to more depression. So this time I'm really trying to just uh, face it, and I'm going to some therapy, and yeah, I'm just trying to approach it a little bit differently than I have in the past. And it's scary. It's super scary, and it's super difficult. And um, yeah, um, I'm, but I feel a lot better, and I'm feeling good about how things are going so far with it. And yeah, I'm just trying to embrace all my new yarn, because that makes me really happy, and yeah, focus on my projects, because I'm really in love with all my projects right now, and yeah, just trying to keep it together basically. I'm still not sleeping that well, so I'm hoping that we can figure out why that is, um, because that's like a really big um, contributor to why I get depressed, is when I'm not sleeping well. I just get so out of it and can't even function. So I'm hoping I can start sleeping better. And yeah, just yeah. So that's why I didn't podcast for a while. But I am feeling better. I don't want you guys to worry. Um, but I did want to open up about that and just put it out there that yeah, I feel you if you have been in the same situation, and it really sucks. And I wish that none of us could not that yeah, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's um, yeah, and it's just strange, you know. It's strange to deal with something that isn't physical. I mean, it does become physical because you know it does come with a lot of physical pain, and I think that's something that's hard for people that have never experienced depression to understand, is that it's physically painful. I mean, I have like chronic back pain, and you know when you're depressed, you just don't feel good. Um, it becomes a physical thing. And yeah, so I get it if you have felt this same way, and um, I hope that you are doing well and that you don't have to experience that. So I'm totally rambling about it now, but I just wanted to put it out there, and yeah, thank you to everyone who has uh, reached out and kept in touch with me, and it means so much. And it was really revitalizing to go down to Brooklyn to see everybody last weekend. That was really kind of a turning point in me feeling better. So thank you to that group, my New York Knit Nerds. You mean so very much to me, and I'm so glad that we're close enough that we can hang out. And um, of course, I love that there's so many other people in different countries that I get to keep in touch with, and blah blah blah. I think I'm going to wrap it up now, and I'm sorry if that was a bummer, but yeah, I just wanted to put it out there, and thank you for listening, and for watching, and for checking out what I've been working on. And I'm really excited to update you on my progress on all these projects very soon, and I hope you're doing well. Yeah, and the dude says hello. Maybe I'll have him on the next episode, since yeah, I had too much to show you to have him distracting me. But you probably heard him chattering away back there, and I will uh, hopefully have him on the next episode to say hello. And yeah, cheers everyone. Enjoy your tea, enjoy your knitting, and see you soon. Bye.